Hello, Ulysses.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm all right. You okay?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
Brilliant. Just to let you know, you're on with myself, Ray, and my co-host, Patrick.
Okay.
Hey, good to talk to you, Ulysses.
Okay, that's a little bit more of a better accent. I understand.
Yeah, we've got we're Team UK and Team America, so
Oh, okay.
you have to put up with me as well. I'm afraid. I'm only joking. So yeah, let's just jump straight in. First of all, we really appreciate you giving us your time and coming on today. We're excited to get you on and have a chance to chat with you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys actually giving me the chance to talk to you guys, man.
Brilliant. Well, I'm gonna jump straight in with London. I mean, I've actually booked my tickets now. I always go and watch the UFC when they're in the UK because I just love to go and see the fight. So, how do you feel about fighting for the first time out of the States, and how do you feel about fighting for the first time in the UK?
I've always fought in California, and I've had one fight in Texas. I've never fought overseas, and they kind of, if the way I look at it, man, if I would love to fight in Vegas. I'm from Vegas. I've never fought in Vegas, so I can't fight in Vegas. Let me see the world a little bit, and. I hear London's nice that time of year, so.
Yeah, and I know one of the things that Dana's always said is that what you find with the UK fans is we're there right from the start. We love to see all of the fights, whether it be the first fight on the prelims to the last fight on the card. So at least you're gonna have a good crowd. And what's it going to be like fighting a UK guy in the UK? Are you worried a little bit about the reaction from the crowd?
Nah, man. I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand that obviously, I'm gonna be walking into hostile territory and they're gonna be rooting for him. My game plan, is to win the fight. But besides win the fight, also win the fans over. So after the fight's said and done, they'll be like, you know what, I like that guy. So.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you fight in the UK. Anyway, now you've fought at two weight classes. You fought at bantamweight and flyweight. Would you say flyweight's the best weight class for you?
Man, it's a tough say. I think flyweight it's where I can be more competitive at, because I'm fighting guys my size. The downside with flyweight is that, there is no easy fights. If you look at, the UFC, there's 12 guys, maybe 10 or 12 guys in the UFC at 125. And, at any given time, 8 of those guys are in the top 10 in the world. So there is no easy fights at flyweight. So, it is my best weight class, but it's also the toughest, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. There's kind of like no warm-up matches really, where if you're fighting at, say, at bantamweight, because they've got more people in the division, you can get a few tune-up matches where you literally jump straight in at the deep end with flyweight in the UFC, don't you?
Right, exactly, yeah.
How did you feel about the UFC taking on a flyweight division? Because I think it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I mean, I first heard about it in 2008, that the WC was going to do it. And then I think in 2009 or 10, the WC got bought out by Zuffa. So I'm like, okay, they're going to do it eventually. It didn't happen. In 2011, in December, they announced it. I was like, oh man, they announced it next year. It's a matter of time. And, I just think it's one of those, it's a long time coming. And, I'm definitely glad that it's finally here,
What was it like getting the call to offer you a chance to fight in the UFC?
Terrifying. Because it's one of those things. It's like, obviously, my ideal situation would have been doing a whole camp. I took the fight with John, like in 10 or 11 days, something like that. Like you always want the ideal situation, in any fight, but especially in your first UFC fight, But it's so that kind of sucked, that it didn't work out how I had planned, how I envisioned. But at the same exact time, I feel honored just having them call me, and it's now I kind of get I feel like this is gonna be my actual UFC debut right here.
I was just gonna say that taking that fight on short notice and then getting given good notice for the next fight, do you really feel this is going to be where you get to really showcase yourself?
I mean, John, he beat me fair and square. There's no grabs about it. He was a better fighter. I just know that I'm better than what I showed, and now I just got to prove it to everybody else.
Yeah, I think we're certainly looking forward to seeing that. Now, outside of the UFC, you fought in some of the bigger promotions, and the ones that jump out to me obviously are Bellator and Tachi Palace fights. What was it like fighting for those promotions?
Bellator was pretty cool. That was the first time I actually ever fought on TV. So it was, they're like, we fought in Texas, and the show started at 6. They're like, all right, by 6:10, you're gonna be in the ring, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I've heard that before from grappling tournaments. They say the divisions start at noon, and it doesn't start till like 3 o'clock, whatever. So I wasn't really expecting it, but no, sure enough, by 6:10 I was in the ring, so that was pretty cool, knowing when you were gonna fight,
Yeah.
The thing with Tachi Palace, I fought for them, I think 10 or 11 times. And, it always feels like, like I'm just going back home. I know everybody that works there from the person that runs the hotel to the person that runs the fight. So it's always like, it's just like another day for me.
And, obviously, what was it like as well? You obviously worked your way up with Tachi Palace fights and then went on to not only fight for the title, but become a champion at bantamweight. What was it like to get about in the Tachi Palace? You obviously had a bout at flyweight as well, didn't you? What was it like to be a champion in 2 weight classes?
Yeah, I was, as cool as it sounds, I was the first flyweight champion for the Tachi Palace, which also sucks because I was the first guy to lose a title at flyweight, But no, being the first champion, is always nice, but I think just being a champion, and I think being a champion period, is always satisfying. But staying a champion is the hard part, and I've never successfully defended my belt. When I had the belt at flyweight, my next fight, my very first defense, I lost against Daryl Montague, and then when I got the belt at bantamweight at 135s, I had already planned to go to 25s, before that because that's where I felt I was more competitive. So it was like I literally won the belt, then I just had to vacate it because I wasn't gonna stay at 35s no more. So I got, getting the belt's the easy part, man. I haven't found a way to keep the belt yet, so that was a little challenging,
But in a way, doing what you've done in Tachi Palace fights with winning the 2 bouts is what's probably led to this opportunity you're getting now with the UFC.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I think I'm competitive in both weight classes. Obviously, 125s, would be more ideal for me. But I think I proved that, I could fight at 135s, and win at 35s, because I've never lost at 35s. Not saying that the guys in 35 aren't good. I just been successful at that weight. But, I think, 25 is where I belong, and, as much as I hate dieting, that's where I gotta be.
Yeah, you've got to use every advantage you can get now, and obviously, if you can cut down to a smaller weight and use your size, it makes sense to do it. I know Patrick's eager to jump in, so you're good to go, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm all set. Thanks, Ray, and thanks again, Ulysses, for your time. We really appreciate it. Let's see. I wanted to ask, in your fight with John Moraga, it was an even fight until you guys were in the clinch. He caught you with a tricky little elbow. Earlier in the fight, though, you were both cut by an accidental headbutt. Did that affect you throughout the match at all?
It's hard to say to play the what if game. I remember when I think I went and the same as time as he did, or we both. It was a weird situation where I got a cut on top of my head. Blood was dripping a little bit, I've never really been. I've been cut in my fight once when I fought Daryl, but it wasn't nothing bad. And not to say that when John cut me, that was a bad cut by any means. It wasn't a bad cut at all. But it was dripping in my eyes, and I made the mistake, of trying to wipe the blood off. So when I did that, some of the, cause I guess blood's a little bit more thicker, it got stuck in my eyebrows, not my eyebrows, sorry, my eyelashes. So, it was a little blurry right there, but I don't think it would have made a difference, what I mean? He won, and that's pretty much what it was,
Yeah, I hear you. So coming up in February, you got your fight against Phil Billy Harris, like you and Ray were talking about. That's going to be on UFC on Fuel 7. Harris, he's a solid all-around fighter, much like yourself. Can you tell us a bit about how preparation's going for that fight?
Well, right now, cause I'm still 10 weeks out, so I'm not really in full camp mode. I'm more in I see the problem with I feel some fighters is that when they actually start their camp, they kind of focus on their game plan more as becoming a better fighter, or they focus on the conditioning much more. So they might be in great shape, but they didn't get better as a fighter. So right now, I'm always trying to learn and get better. So even though I'm so far away from the fight, I'm still trying to, even though I'm finding Phil Harris, that's 10 weeks away. Something can happen. He can pull out, and I might have to fight someone else. So I'm not necessarily trying to tailor a game plan for him just yet. I'm just more of just trying to get myself better overall to where I feel I need to be. And then I know when I get to where I need to be, then it doesn't really matter who I'm fighting.
I hear you. Yeah, that's a good attitude. Especially with the way things are going these days, it seems like just about every card that's announced for the UFC, someone pulls out. So,
right.
Definitely good to work on your overall game. Now, you and Ray also talked about you had fought in Bellator before. That was in Texas, and you fought and beat Travis Redner by split decision, and that was in the bantamweight tournament. But that was your only fight for Bellator. Can you tell us about the situation behind that?
Yeah, I ended up after I beat Travis. I thought I beat him 2-1. I don't really understand why some people had a split decision.
Right.
That's the judges for. But I beat him, and then I was supposed to fight Zach McCoskey next, but I ended up catching staff between. I guess I had it going into the fight. I didn't know about that. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, so then that's what had me withdraw from the tournament. So then I was still under Bellator contract, but I kind of expressed interest. I wanted to. Yeah, I mean, Travis was a pretty big dude, So I wanted to stay at 25. So my whole plan was after the Travis fight, I kind of realized 25 is kind of where I got to stay. So I kind of, said that I wanted to stay at 25, and they kind of said, well, if you want to stay at 25, we got to cut you. And I was like, oh, that's fine. So they released me from my contract. So I went back down to 25s. And, the only reason why I went to 35s again was because after I lost my belt to Daryl, my next fight was supposed to be against Drew Bittner. And we were supposed to fight at 125s. And then I guess maybe a month before the fight, they had called me and said that he can't make 35 or 25s. Can we do the fight at 130s? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So we did it at 130s.
Okay.
I guess 2 weeks before the fight, he's like, hey, he can't make 130s. Can you do it at 135? And I'm like, yeah. I go, we'll do it at 136, but nothing bigger than that, So that's why I fought at 35s again. And after I beat him, I was supposed to fight at 25s again, on the December card, and I forgot. Cody Gibson was supposed to fight someone, and I forgot who. But that dude got hurt, so they go, can you fight at 35 for the belt? We kind of need you. And I was like, So, they asked me, so I did it.
Hey, and that certainly ended up working out well for you. I mean, You beat Cody Gibson, won the title, and he's a solid prospect himself, so that win's definitely got to feel nice.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 rounds weren't that nice, but I put it out in the 3rd round, which was nice.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you'd alluded to it earlier that you've done a lot of grappling in the past. You won a lot of grappling championships, actually. Are you still active in that circuit?
You know what, man? I did one tournament July at Grappler's Quest. I ended up losing. I lost to this kid on points. Some Russian kid that just. I got him in when I grapple, for the most part, even when I fight, all my wins, I have 7 wins by submission out of 9, so I pretty much always go for it. And that match, I got him in heel hooks and this and that. I popped his leg a couple times, and he ended up getting out, so that was the only match that I did this year. I would like to be a little bit more active, but as far as our UFC contracts, once we signed to fight, we're allowed to train grappling, but I don't think we can compete. They said we can't do anything amateur, so I don't know if that counts as a tournament as well. So
yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, they want to make sure they're watching out for you now that you're under the Zuffa umbrella. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I had seen in an interview before your fight on UFC on Fox 4, you mentioned raising money for your friend's cancer treatment by raffling off your fight shorts. How did that go, and how's your friend doing?
Good, he's doing good, man. It's still from what I was told, it takes about, I think, 18 months for him to get actually cleared from because he had 3 different types of cancer. So it's
right.
I mean, it's only been from August until now, so it's only been 4 or 5 months. So it's still too early to tell, man. But he's in good spirits, so that's always good. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, the positive attitude, that's the majority of the battle right there, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with him. anyhow, before we let you go, we just want to let you shout out any sponsors, your Twitter, Facebook, let people know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, if you guys just want to follow me on Twitter, that's always the coolest thing to do now. It's Ulysses Gomez. You can find me on Facebook. I'm not one of those guys that has someone else run their account. Pretty much what I post is it's coming from this horse's mouth itself, so if I put something on there that offends someone, it's me that put it, it's not someone else, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, follow me there, as far as my sponsors, Anna.com has been helping me out, so I really like their stuff, like the Alpha Brain makes me feel a little smarter than I actually am. And Zion's, been taking care of me as well, so I really can't complain.
Very cool, very cool. Well, thanks a lot for your time, and good luck in February.
Yeah, man, and Ray, man, if you, I know you got some inside information on Phil Harris, man, so I'd appreciate it if you text me afterwards.
I'll see what I can find out for you. I'll be there cheering you on. I'll be the only Brit cheering you on in the crowd.
I'm thinking, because I always wear my brother's soccer jersey to the game.
Yeah.
And I couldn't for the one on Fox because I guess I didn't have the proper paperwork, and I kind of made the mistake. But I think I know how to get around it, so I'm gonna wear it. So.
What soccer shirt is it?
Well, he plays for the U.S. national team.
Oh, cool! Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he plays for the U.S. national team, and he also plays in Mexico for Club Santos.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wear the U.S. one, so I'm probably gonna get booed, man. So I might need some backup if something goes down.
I'll be there. me and you can take the crowd on. All 20,000 double.
Sounds good, man.
Brilliant. We really appreciate you coming on today.
No, anytime, guys. I appreciate it, man. Sorry, I don't have more time. I gotta go pick up my son from daycare, man. But I wish I had more time.
That's what we'll get you back on again. We'll get you back on again before you fight. We can find out how your training's going.
Definitely, man. We'll do it in person next time, man. I'll be up there, a couple weeks more than anything.
Yeah, cool. We'll arrange to meet up then. We can meet up and do the interview in person. That'd be brilliant.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Speak to you soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Later, buddy.
Later.